Hello and good afternoon, subscribers. Welcome to our community. I'm here today to bring you a video about malpractice. One of our community members had a question about it, so let me jump right in. Let me just let you know right away that I'm going to need you to get a sheet of paper or several sheets of paper if you can. I'm very big on teaching. Find you a pen. I wanted to let you know that up front now so you can go ahead and start looking for it. Let me just give you a few points. My name is Miriam. I am a registered nurse, but also a young lady that struggled with fibroids and had a fibroid removal surgery earlier this year. I had to open myomectomy where I had 17 tumors removed. My previous videos you can find under my subscription are detailing from day one, actually at the hospital, and at several major milestones along the way. A video in the future will be my 6-month checkup with my doctor that I'll be having, so come back for that. And let's get started on this topic. This topic, medical malpractice, is not only just a healthcare situation, it's also a legal situation. So I like to empower people as I like to be empowered. So I took the approach of contacting a friend who is an excellent legal professional and attorney to get their opinion about the topic as well. So I was sent back a statement, and for you all today, I will be summarizing that statement along with my healthcare opinions. This is just a disclaimer. This is not to serve as your legal advice or your healthcare advice. This is a combination of opinions and guiding points and insights from two people who are professionals in the legal world and healthcare world. So that's pretty good advice to me. So let's get started. And the first thing I'd like you to write on your paper is, so what is malpractice, right? So on your sheet of paper, let me see if I can turn this here. I would like you to write, I think I picked the one pen. I have more. Okay. I'd like you to write, or maybe they're just all like that. Can you see that? I'd like you to go ahead and write malpractice on your paper, okay? What is malpractice? Medical malpractice occurs when a hospital, doctor, or other healthcare professional, through a negligent act or omission, causes an injury to a patient. The negligence might be the result of errors in diagnosis, treatment, aftercare, or healthcare management. So for something to be considered medical malpractice under law, the claim must have these following characteristics. And these following characteristics were pulled from the ABPLA, which is a board of medical malpractice attorneys in America. I found them on just a quick search. The link for their site will be at the bottom underneath the YouTube description. I highly recommend you go there, as they have detailed explanations for each one of these characteristics that I'm going to list, and there's 3 of them. The first characteristic is a violation of the standard of care. Number 2, an injury was caused by the negligence. And number 3, the injury resulted in significant damage. And those are the 3 criterias that a complaint or a claim has to have in order to be considered medical malpractice. Some of the things that I'm going to be sharing today are going to sound over your head. They're going to sound complicated. But let me just assure you right now, you are intelligent. You have the ability to learn. You can learn and understand. You will understand and you will learn this. You will watch this 2 times if you have to. You will get a dictionary because you are a fighter. You want to know how to be the best empowered person that you can be and knowledgeable. So whatever term you hear, You just cast away any feelings or spirit of fear that makes you feel you can't get this. You will get this, okay? So we are talking about medical malpractice, and we just list the 3 characteristics. And you can find that in detail. All right. So now let's move into one of my mottos. Let's dispel this fear and let's get to the facts. So how would I handle this situation? What would I do if I find out that my doctor has malpractice? The question was, just found out doctor had malpractice. What do you do in this situation? Okay, this is what I need you to do now on your sheet of paper. Underneath malpractice, okay, I want you to write my decision and I'm going to hold it up so you can see it in a minute. Okay, I want you to write on your paper, my decision. I hope this is not coming in backwards, because if it is, that means I'm going to need some type of mirror. Okay, write my decision, yes or no. And put a square around my decision. Okay. We are building up the layers of thinking that you'll have to answer, and the way you'll have to think so that you can make the best decision. Yes, whether you're going to continue forward with this doctor, or no, will you not continue forward with this doctor given this situation of malpractice. From the statement that I received from our legal professional, and I'm summarizing it for this discussion, he shares that malpractices are serious charges, okay? He stresses the word being charged and that context is everything, okay? On your sheet of paper, underneath my decision, I'd like you to write context. Actually, do like a little drop down arrow and write the word context as such, okay? Context. So what is context? By definition, it is the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea, and in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed. So we need to kind of understand the context. Let me give you an example. Should you bring a jacket or coat with you? Okay. This is the circumstances. This is a part of the context. The circumstances is it's summertime and you're headed to a restaurant with your friends. You've been struggling with anemia and you get cold easily. You know the restaurant will most likely have the AC blasting to keep the restaurant cold. Okay? Now, should you bring this jacket or coat with you? Now, in context, the question is, should you bring a jacket or coat with you to the restaurant even though it's summertime? The answer is yes, because you struggle with anemia and get cold easily, and the restaurant will most likely be cold. You see, context helps you to decide tough situations. Like, it's summertime. Should you bring your coat? Well, let's see. What was the context surrounding it? And you could clearly see, because of the particular circumstances, the answer would be yes. So the context helps us also to answer this tough question. Just found out that the doctor had malpractice. What should I do in this situation? Okay, so I want you on your sheet of paper next to context, I want you to write a little box. See? I want you to write a little box just like that. And I want you to write situation. Okay? Now that we understand how to understand context and the circumstances, what is our situation now? What is our circumstance? We're going to come back to that, okay? Stick with me. Stick with me. Okay. Our legal professional, in his statement, he states that malpractice is about negligence and liability. Okay. We're going to write those two words down on the sheet of paper as well. So right here underneath context, I need you to write negligence and liability side by side on the paper right underneath as such. And I know these words are words that you might not have to think about every day, or they might be words that you think about every day, but this is to help you see it in context of this situation. Like this: negligence and liability. Okay? All this is leading up to us making our decision, so stick with me on this, okay? This is what I would do. Alrighty? And just remember, for liability and negligence and those characteristics of malpractice, please make sure you go visit the site that I have listed below in the details. So, simply put, what is negligence? This first word, this ugly first word. Negligence is the failure to exercise appropriate and or ethical ruled care expected to be exercised among specific circumstances. That's the Webster Dictionary. Simply put, it means not doing what you know you're supposed to do in that situation. For example, posted in restaurants are notices to employees to wash their hands after using the restroom before returning to work. You know what you are supposed to do in this situation. Failure to do so would be negligence. No texting on your cell phone while driving. Okay? You get where I'm going? The second word is liability. And it is pretty much being responsible, and especially by law. Who is responsible? Who is liable to do what they are supposed to do? Okay, are you liable for this? Who is liable? The responsibility, the fact of responsibility. Okay, so here you have negligence and liability on your paper. Okay, this might not make sense right now, but what we're doing is we're building up the weights. These are the things that are going to weigh in on your decision of yes or no. So just follow me. Now, our legal professional mentions that anyone can file a lawsuit with the courts and it can become a part of public record. So if you searched and you found this, just know that anyone, even you, me, the mailman, the person in the grocery store, your grandmother, anyone can file a lawsuit with the courts and it can become part of public record. The key point, okay, don't miss this, don't tune out. The key point is the word merit, okay? Right underneath negligence and liability, I want you to write the word merit. M-E-R-I-T, okay? Merit. Our legal professional lets us know that unless a court issues a final judgment on the merits of the complaint, okay, the merit, in favor of the plaintiff, which is the person who is bringing the charge, the person who filed the complaint, then all you have is an accusation. So what the court is going to do, since anyone can file a lawsuit or a complaint, the court is going to zoom in on the merit of that complaint, the merit of that lawsuit, okay? And we know now that merit, I want you to write this next to this, merit on your paper, is, does it have credit? Okay? It's worth. Okay? Quality of being good. Worthy. Okay? Write that next to merit. This is what we need to assess. Does this complaint have merit, credit, worth, quality of being good? Is it worthy? Okay, these are weights. These are all adding up to weights that are going to help you get to your yes and your no. Now, and for any other situation that you run into that's challenging, I just want to equip you with the tools to be able to make those empowered decisions and some type of process on how to do it. All right. Let me give you an example about this merit thing. Let me make this simple. Okay. Let's say me, Miriam, I say, my surgeon, I say, okay, my surgeon, I believe that my surgeon has committed malpractice. And then we go to court. The court would have to say, Miriam, we have found what you said, your complaint, to have merit. And that is the only way that this surgeon would be charged pretty much with malpractice, which is negligence and malpractice. Now, if the court does not judge in favor to the merit of my complaint, then it is described as an accusation, which is just a complaint. Now, on the flip side, our legal professional mentions to us that people often file complaints with the court when they do not receive the results or the outcome that they anticipated. That's a tough one, okay? So, based on our legal expert, the complaint could be valid, which is true, or it could be frivolous, not having any serious value. Okay, so the merit could, the merit of it, your complaint could be valid, it could be true, or it could be frivolous, not having any weight to it, any value. Okay, and that can happen. So I need you to write this down on your paper, because these are going to be some of the heavy weights to decide. I need you to write complaint or charged. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm so sorry. I wish I had a blackboard for you, but this is what we have. Okay, we have merit, complaint, or charged. Those are going to be the most important final decisions that you're going to have to find out, and these are going to be issued by the court. So when you're searching a public records, you're going to need to find out whether it was just whether it fell out to just be a complaint, or whether they were actually charged with malpractice. Okay, let me just say, this is a tough situation, and if you are the one that had to file the complaint, or you feel that you've been wrongly done, you really need to see an attorney to help you navigate and handle this situation. Okay, so back to our topic, what we're dealing with right here. So what does this mean for your upcoming fibroid surgery, or for any healthcare professional you have to deal with malpractice? Okay, let us summarize the final point from our legal professional. He has shared with us his insight in a very professional way, and he shares it from the perspective of being also being a medical service consumer, just like you and I. Like, I am a registered nurse, but I also consume healthcare as well. I go and get surgeries and appointments and checkups as well. This is what he shares. As a medical service consumer, I recommend to always, and I need you to write this on your sheet of paper, check the professional license of the medical professional. Okay, so on another, I have to use another sheet of paper, but I need you to write check professional license. Okay, check medical license. This is very important also for those of us who may have not had a lot of healthcare issues or concerns prior to having these fibroids. If this is your first time, you just found out you were diagnosed with fibroids, or you found out you were diagnosed with any type of health services, any type of health condition needing medical services, and you've never necessarily had to kind of like figure out what to do, this is a really good checklist that you can use. And especially in our situation, and this is a recommendation from someone who is also a legal professional. Check professional license. Let that be the first thing that you. So I want you to put a little box next to this. Check the professional license. In addition to, and these are nuggets, and nuggets that many people don't get, even nuggets that from his perspective that I wouldn't have necessarily said it this way. You need to put next cross-referencing. Okay, cross-referencing. Okay. In addition to checking the professional license, you need to do a thorough cross-referencing of the public records. So you probably found that through a public record search that the doctor has malpractice. Good. You have to do a cross-referencing of public records. Okay, go ahead and put that on your paper. What you need to be looking for in these public records is you need to find out what were the court findings and results. What were the court's findings and results? Remember on our previous sheet of paper that we had complaint or charged? This is where you need to follow up with that. You need to find out what were the court findings based on the merit of the complaint that was filed against that person. And our legal professional is suggesting that you need to do this for any complaint. Any complaint. Find the merits. Find out the court findings and the results. And then finally, we have on here, check sites like Yelp and Google. You want to check these sites about Yelp and Google because it also helps you to get the full 360, as he stated, view of your particular surgeon. All right. This gives us a well-rounded view of the person. Okay. One, have they done their due diligence? Are they trained? Do they have their license? We want to do cross-reference checks. Cross-reference, sort of like if you have two people who are doing like he said, she said, okay, you need to find out if these stories and these things add up, figure out really what's going on. And you also want to find out the validity of any complaints that this person has had in the public records and to find out what were the court findings and the court rulings. And finally, check things like Yelp and Google. You want to get a full 360 perspective of this particular doctor. Okay, so that sort of wraps and sums the legal side of it and to give us sort of a structure and understanding. So the take-home points that you need to go ahead and write on this paper, you have malpractice. I need you to write under there my decision, yes or no. Context, we need to find out what the situation is. We need to remember that in context of this, malpractice is about negligence and liability. In that, we need to find out the merit of that complaint of malpractice. We need to find out if it in fact was just a complaint or whether it was actually charged against this healthcare professional. This is one big heavy weight that will help you lean towards yes, proceed with this doctor, or no, do not proceed with this doctor. Along with a second heavy chunk of weight, which is this next section. Check the professional license. Have you cross-referenced to find out the merits of these public complaints as to the court findings? And have you checked Yelp and Google to give you another full picture of your doctor? All right. Thank you to our legal consultant, friend, and advice for giving us your legal statement, which again, please do not use this as your legal advice. This is opinions to better help and serve you on this network. Okay, Now, we're going to talk quickly about facts and fear, all right? I personally, in this situation, I want to know a little bit more about this doctor, okay? And so this is where your homework is going to come into play to decide what you should do. And these are my thoughts on it, okay? This will help you to be able to circle yes or no on the paper. And I'm going to read it off. I have these questions prepared so I don't lose my track or not share something with you that's very important. Number 1, do you have the time to do the homework? And what I mean, do you have the time to do the homework, is because you might be in a situation where you have to have immediate surgery. So you need to find out, do you have the time to actually do this homework? Do you have the time? I know you're in pain, but has it gotten to the place where in my situation, I was literally hemorrhaging and going down? It was like crashing. I had to get my surgery when I did. So the benefit was that I had already done all this homework ahead of time. I was already moving in the direction towards that doctor. And so it already done everything we needed to do. And that situation was handled. So let me just give you that empowerment. Okay. Doing the homework is to look into the charges of this malpractice, the court rulings, the court findings, and to also review those malpractice characteristics that we had inside that link. Number 2, this is really important. Are you willing to do the homework? First one is, do you have time? Second one is, are you willing? Okay, that's important. Are you willing to do the homework? Are you going to put your fears to rest by doing the necessary work to find out the facts you need to make the decision about whether you are going to use this doctor or not? Are you willing? These are important. These are important questions. Be honest. Be very honest. And then number 3, if you are not able or not going to do any of the above, or you don't have the time to do any of this research, and to get a better understanding of the malpractice charges of this physician, I have some insight for you, okay? Let me share it this way. Fibroid surgery is high risk. It is the same high risk as having a C-section. Yes, these babies are cute, but if a woman has to have a C-section, that is considered a high risk surgery. And I share that so you could see the context in what I mean high risk. So you won't think that one is, oh my gosh, you kind of understand what I'm saying? High risk. C-section surgery is high risk. Having a fibroid surgery is considered high risk as well. Okay. Now, to get the best possible results that are available to you, you want to choose the best possible doctor that you can in this situation. Meaning, if you can't find out or you don't want to find out about this malpractice situation any further, then you should consider finding a doctor that doesn't have any public complaints. And why do I say that? Okay. And let me just say I am very sorry, and I apologize in advance to my physician friends and friends who are physicians and co-workers, but this video is specifically for consumers, those when we have to now consume the medical care. You may have just had a complaint against you if you're a doctor or a physician, and it may not be true, but the only way they're going to give you a pass is if they do the research. But if they're not going to, this is for the consumer, okay? Because here is a scenario. When you go into the grocery store, you choose the best apples or bananas, avoiding the ones with the most bruises or bad spots for a reason. It's because although you haven't cut into the apple in the store or peel open the banana for a deeper inspection or look, from the outside, you only have those facts. You have to make a decision as to whether this apple or this banana is the best choice of the fruits in this section to take home. Is it the best in this section to take home? You will be comfortable and accept responsibility with a fruit that appears healthy or appears to be the best choice in that particular container. Now, people are not fruit, but you're working the same principles here, okay? What are your circumstances around why you want to use this doctor or not use this doctor? Is this doctor worth it to you to find out the full picture of the malpractice? You're going to have to answer that question. And I always recommend to do the homework, regardless of complaints or recommendations, finding out the facts as best we can. We want lasting results. We don't want quick fixes. To get the best results, it starts with having the best choices. To get the best cake, it starts with starting with the best ingredients. And good results are what we hope for. We proceed in these types of choices in good faith. That's all we have is good faith, which is showing our hope in good results. Okay? Then we pray and we proceed, but we cannot be passive. Passive does not help us get anything solved. So take your time if you have to, but never give up. Keep going. Don't quit. We have to achieve. We have to take responsibility of our health. Go back to your sheet of paper, and I need you to write this one last point down, okay? I need you to write your decision. I need you to write yes or no, okay? Like this. And right underneath it, and I'm going to show you, you're going to write facts, and you're going to write safety, okay? As such, all right? On your sheet of paper, while you're writing down what you see here on the screen, let me just let you know that it's going to boil down to these factors right here, this on this paper, okay? Let me just share with you, on my homework, I found that my doctor was very skilled and trained. They had a very good track record of good results. They took the necessary precautions prior to my surgery to assess my body and the type of procedure that would be needed to give me the best results that I could have given my particular situation. And even with all of that, and me being a registered nurse, I was still nervous and had reservations because the unknown is a natural human thing to fear. But this is what weighs over all of that. I had good faith. So I proceeded because I had done my homework. I had the best situation I could choose for that situation. Okay? And it's hard. It is hard when you're tired and you're frustrated and your stomach is cramping and you're in pain, and every single month is getting worse and worse. But let me assure you, it is worth it in the long run to do your homework, especially if you're in this situation where you have run into a possible situation where ultimately your safety, okay, might be at risk. Okay. I went into surgery empowered, and I knew I had the best doctor I could find to give me the best procedure I could receive at that time. All right. I just want to let you know, this is a quick little side note. I didn't mean to throw this in here. I know the video is going, but listen, this was my fourth doctor. I had 3 prior surgeries prior to this particular doctor, and my fibroids were not effectively removed. Okay. I did not get the desired results that I wanted. So what I'm saying is, you want to choose the doctor that is the best doctor that they can be at that time, which boils down to you want a safe doctor. You get what I'm saying? I didn't get the results that I wanted, but I got a safe doctor because that's all I could be in control of. Do you get what I'm saying? I was very blessed and fortunate to have a doctor that was able to effectively remove all 17 of my tumors, and I'm doing well. And I got the results that I was looking for. So let me just wrap up with you with a final extreme scenario and some empowerment, and you will definitely be able to make your decision based on doing your homework, or based on something hopefully that was said in this video. Okay. In this scenario, I wrote it down. If I found that my doctor had a court complaint, several bad Yelp reviews, and I asked them about it. And when I asked them about it, they gave me red flags. And they were not effective in positively reassuring me about my findings or assuring me about their current medical practice, safety, knowledge, or unwilling to address specifically the court complaint. And if I didn't feel, because remember, we women have that power, that intuition, that I trusted them, I would just simply not go forward with that doctor and move on to interview other doctors. Once my trust, personally, has been lost in that situation, I personally could not move forward with that doctor. I would have to get a second opinion. Okay. So let me wrap this for you. All right. Having a struggle with fibroids is developing in us. Okay. Us women, a sense of self-love, self-attention, self-care, and a fight. Okay. A sense of self-protection and awareness of our strength and appreciation of our vulnerability, our uniqueness, and our needs and our wants. Our personal goals during this process are becoming more and more clear, along with our personal understanding of who we are and what we offer this world. Our greatness, okay, is on the other side of this circumstance. Okay? It's on the other side. It's a greatness that many of us have never even tapped into before. On the other side of this challenge, you're going to find yourself a more empowered woman. You'll be in probably the most empowered state that you'd ever been in before. Because challenges, whether wanted or unwanted, they push us and they strengthen us. And what we're left with is the strength. The strength to be able to handle any situation and any circumstances. The clarity and the confidence to overcome, and then to help those around us to overcome as well. So, my final advice to you is to do your homework, which are these sheets of paper that you wrote down earlier. And then finally, get down, check these off, and you'll be able to circle yes or no. And if you're unable or don't want to do the work, which I would highly advise you not to do, then at least give yourself the best chance you can by consider moving on to a doctor that does not have any complaints. Okay? At least you know that. So I hope this was helpful. Like, subscribe, join the community, get into the flow, and leave your comments, and let's talk. Thank you, and be empowered. Girl, you got this. Until next time, bye.